Yeah.
Really good pun.
It's
Honestly
what
funny.
pun? What's the pun? The factually
Not pun,
amazing
sorry.
part? It's a bit of a
No,
pun.
no, no, no. It's just like a,
It's like
I don't know, man.
it's like a spoof or something.
Yeah, spoof. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay, okay, okay. But I don't think of it as that. I think of it as like a genuine invitation to try atheism. Why not?
No, I know you're sincere. I'm not saying you're not sincere. It's just good. I like it. Generally, it's good.
Can you get a little bit closer to your phone? I cranked you, and that's as far as it's going for me, and people need to hear you better.
Oh, it might be my Discord settings. Check, check, check.
This might be not bad. Is that better, guys? Getting some
Check, check.
feedback, I think. Please don't crank the guest. Well, usually I have to turn down, but you're it's good here. Okay, that sounds good. All right, so Mickey, why not try atheism at this point?
Well, I would go that Jesus did raise from the dead, therefore Christianity is true.
How do we know that to be true?
How often have you interacted with people that use the minimal fact, Dr. Gary Habermas?
I don't know that I think one person one time tried, but they didn't really know how to do it.
Oh, nice. That's fun.
But they certainly attempted. But yeah, so I'm not that familiar with it. Have you watched Apologia content?
Apology. Yes.
It's called Paulogia.
Apologia? Oh,
Yeah, it's like the name Paulogia, Paulogia. Ever heard of that guy?
I think I've heard of it, but none of his videos are coming to mind.
Okay, he always talks about minimal facts and Habermas. Like he just like he's probably debunked him every 6 and 7 ways. This and that, this then that way till I don't know the saying. Every way till Sunday to Sunday. Anyway,
Yeah.
So what's the deal? I'll try it. What's the how does it work?
Yeah, we'll go through it. So we've got 4 facts that are generally accepted by historians as historical facts, and then we've got extended facts after that. So the 4 minimal facts would be Jesus died by crucifixion, the disciples believed in resurrection appearances, and then Paul's conversion by appearance, and James, the skeptical relative of Jesus' conversion.
So I don't know that we know that Jesus was. What's the evidence that Jesus was crucified?
Yeah, so obviously all of the biblical accounts, but I know that.
Okay, so
we're
the
gonna
Bible
want
tells
extra
me
biblical
so.
stuff. Yeah, I know. We're gonna get past that. Don't worry. And then you've got the historians like Tacitus and Josephus, as well as Jewish sources that cite that Jesus was indeed crucified.
Well, does it? Like,
Yeah, so
do they?
you've got the Gospels, Tacitus,
We
Josephus,
know that
Lucian.
the Gospels say it, but that's the cult perpetuating itself. So, do we have
Sure.
anyone else saying that Jesus was crucified?
Tacitus.
Okay,
Roman historian?
where?
I don't know which document.
Okay, is
So
it in? Is
Tacitus
it?
is a
I think
Roman
his book was
historian.
Annals.
Yeah,
It's
that's
called,
it. The
It's called
Annals-
Annals.
Yeah.
Tacitus on Jesus crucifixion. Yeah. So it says, it is in Annals. I don't know. It says that he was executed, but I don't know that it speaks specifically to crucifixion. Not that I guess that's that important. But Nero fastens the guilt inflicted Christians, Populus Christus, who the name of origins are extreme punishment during the reign of Tiberius at the hands of our procurators. By the way, I don't know that Pontius Pilate. I think there's a thing where like Pontius Pilate wasn't a procurator or something, which kind of like makes this seem maybe not that accurate, or maybe some people think it was added. By the way, when was this written?
First century, first or second century. It's early.
like years, like decades after Jesus was meant to have existed. It looks
Yeah,
like
but I mean,
116. Okay, so not so this is just like
yeah,
him saying what other people believe.
right. As a historian,
Oh,
he's
well, that's,
documenting
yeah.
what
So
happened.
people believe that. Yeah, I know that people believe that because it's in their the cult stories. Yeah, I
Yeah, but
wouldn't.
he's documenting as it happened. Not, I'm not saying he was there and like writing as it
No,
happened,
he's
but he's
saying that
saying, hey,
this is
this
what people
happened.
believe. He's documenting what people believe. There were people called
Oh, I get what you're
Christians
saying.
by the
Yeah.
populace. Christus, from whom the name had an origin, suffered the extreme penalty during the reign of Tiberius at the hands of the procurators and most mischievous superstition. And a most mischievous superstition. He's calling it a superstition. Do we believe that it's a superstition?
Yeah. No,
No,
we're
we
just
can
using
ignore
his,
that. He
yeah,
mentioned the
we're going to ignore that.
Christians, but he also apparently they may have been the Christians. This is another interesting thing. There's something about Christians turn like somebody changing it to Christians or something like that. I just don't know if,
Interesting.
yeah. You should read this. It's here in the Wikipedia on it. Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
that I am convinced of the crucifixion yet.
Okay. I know you've talked about the reliability of the Gospels before,
I don't
but I
do that
think
much.
we can.
This is the thing, Mickey, is like, and I hate to derail this riveting thing, but like, even
No,
if
go ahead.
Jesus was crucified, I'm not gonna buy the resurrection because that's a crazy thing that just doesn't happen. It's a miracle, and I don't really see any
For sure.
miracles. And then I also don't find the I don't find the story compelling. Like I find the whole Jesus concept and the death thing to be very silly and nonsensical, like a really really badly written plot that I think when it was they came up with it originally, I think it made more sense because they didn't have the same attributes for the god. But as the god got more powerful, the story became stupider and stupider, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I understand what you're saying.
Like
A lot of the times,
like for me, it's like
you, yeah, go ahead.
relies on like the necessity of Jesus dying, right? And if
Yeah.
Jesus is not the one that came up with the whole system and isn't God and isn't in charge of everything and couldn't do anything any way he wanted to, and had to, let's say, ransom the souls back from Satan, which I think is the original sort of like iteration of the tale, then like that would be more compelling. That would make sense as a plot, as a narrative. But as soon as he's like all powerful and literally could do anything any way he wants, it just like totally blows up. Like it implodes on itself.
So you're saying there's not a consistent theme from Genesis to Revelation? Is that what you're getting
Like
at?
for sure things are inconsistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that like the story of Jesus or the Christian ideas, they like lean into certain like cherry picked aspects of the stories of the Old Testament and help it inform their new story. I mean, the people that wrote the new story probably were like aware of the Hebrew scriptures, but
Very much so.
and
Yeah.
Paul was like the first apologist, right? Like he took those old stories and reworked them to do metaphor and all sorts of different things in fun ways. But that wasn't like some people would think that as like he's enlightening you as to what those stories really meant. I think he's just like using them to his own ends, right?
Oh, so you think he's just going, oh, hey, Eve was a clean virgin. Mary was a clean virgin. Mary's the new Eve.
Yeah, if he did that, I don't know if he did that particular typology. Did he do that one?
Paul didn't, but it's commonly held as a teaching of the apostles.
Yeah, so like any of the typologies, I think are usually pretty stretched, and you can tell that because like you can make them up for yourself. Like we could have fun with typologies all day long, but we'll be doing them in ways that like you'd go, No, I don't like that one. I'm going to reject your typologies, Joel, but I'm going to like accept the ones that sound nice, right? Like if I were to say like, Joseph, there is a typology for Jesus, right?
Partly, yeah.
There's a bunch of like just little really
There's a bunch
superficial.
of little, there's a bunch of little things.
Yeah, just stupid, superficial things. Let me see if I can bring them up here. They both were loved by their dad, as if that's a stretch.
Amen.
Both hated by others. Joseph hated by his brothers. Jesus hated by the Jews. Both sold and betrayed for silver. Both falsely accused. Both resisted temptation, and both were saviors, one from famine and one from sin, and both forgave. Those are all very silly, superficial typologies, I would say. I think that's like, come on.
Why do you think they're silly and superficial? Because I mean, they're objectively true, just based on the stories, right? Like just based on the stories.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that like
right?
it's not hard to find those types of things. People have brothers, people are hated. That's why we have that kind of like we want there to be, what's the word, conflict in stories. So of course that's going to happen in stories. Resisting temptation, resisting to turn rocks into bread versus resisting sleeping with Potiphar's wife. Like seriously, we're going to be like, same, it's both temptation. I mean, come on. But I'll do a typology. So you realize that Joseph saved the nation of Egypt from famine. And the result of that, if you'll remember from Genesis 47, was to turn all of Egypt into slaves. Every single Egyptian sold themselves to Pharaoh for grain and became slaves of Pharaoh. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So Joseph, he bought everybody and turned everyone into slaves. And so did Jesus, because Jesus takes us and makes us slaves to righteousness. And there's many different parts of the Bible, even in Revelation, that speak of us being slaves in heaven and serving Jesus in heaven. So both of them were saviors who did something to turn us into slaves. I think that's an amazing typology. Don't you agree?
Sounds great. I don't see any problem with that.
Okay, you're a fan of slavery too. Well, that's why you're believe in God. Also.